right, we're down here at Cutting Sage, Trent, Sunset, that area. We're gonna walk down to Oyster Creek area, and you can see the street signs behind me. I get tossed around which direction we're looking, but this is where we were yesterday, where the house, the concrete block house got taken down behind me there yesterday, and we're gonna walk towards the bridges. So if you hear people talk about being over the first, second, or third bridge, they're talking about going down to Oyster Creek. So I'm gonna turn you around and walk down this direction. It's a beautiful day. The wind's not as strong as yesterday, but it's still a little breezy, and it'll get breezier as we get out there towards the sound. And this area down here is a little bit of an, I say, newer area. The first houses weren't built down over Oyster Creek area until the 70s. In fact, it was a developed area, dredged out and intentionally developed. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see friendly faces, although I see your profile pictures, but when you come into the shop, you're going to have to introduce yourselves to me, because I recognize names now, but I don't necessarily know what everybody looks like, because I'm seeing your comments and your profile pictures, but not real big pictures. So some rentals down here. This can get pitch black when you're walking down it at night. Not a whole lot of houses along the street. The ones that are here are tucked back in the trees. As you might know, no street lights down here. So if it's a moonlit night, you'll get some light. But if it's not, it can get pretty darn black around here. A lot of cedars, some oaks. And then down all these little roads here, they back up to canals. There are a lot of rentals around this direction. Tom Neal Drive. I forget the names of them all, but there are 2 or 3 streets going down there that back up to canals, where if you're a kayaker, canoeer, paddleboarder, stand-up paddle, those are great rentals to have, because you can just hop right into the sound from there. And this might sound silly, but coming up here is a teeny tiny hill that when I was learning to drive, it was the only hill, except for the bridges, that had even a remote bit of an incline so that I could practice starting a stick shift car on. Didn't really work. It wasn't even enough of one to practice on, but I attempted it a couple times. But I succeeded because it didn't even roll me backwards. The real trick was getting on the ferry when that with the ramp. When you go up the dock, or to get onto the ferry, up the ramp to get on the ferry, that is a bit of an incline there, and I was always nervous as a new driver with a straight shift car that I would roll back, but so far I always did it. So here, I don't know if y'all have seen this. It's a little teeny tiny path. I'll go through it some other time. We're not going to go through it today. Go through it some other time. No golf carts, as you can see. Foot and bicycle traffic only. And it takes you through to the graveyards of Cemetery Road. Not British Cemetery Road, but Cemetery Road, which runs off of Sunset. And we'll walk through that cemetery. We've done a few videos on people in those cemeteries, and we'll walk you through that someday. Here's another little street. You can rent houses down. You can see the water there in the background of the canals that bumps out right into the sound. Yeah, and with the sun so bright, sometimes I can see the comments and sometimes I can't. So I always try afterwards to go sit on my porch and answer the comments, but I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I apologize if I can't answer right away. There's another little road. There's some rentals down there. Good medicine. Somebody's probably rented that before. Hey, good afternoon. You're watching? There we go. Say hello. It's a beautiful day to sit out. And over here we have a house. Is that the one? Fairly newly built. They had a fire quite a few years ago. Very, very scary to see something like that in close proximity to trees and other houses. But the fire department was great. They came in, they got it out. There's one funny story about the fire department. It was another fire years ago. The water tower was empty because they were painting the inside, so they didn't have water pressure. There was a fire, and they called for reinforcements from Hatteras, which of course have to come on the ferry. And the story I heard, this was when it was the short route, the story I heard was that ferry made it over to Ocracoke in 17 minutes. At those days it took about 35-40 minutes normally, so it was a pretty fast ferry ride to get over to Ocracoke. So this is up over the first bridge. Beautiful canal back there. You even have fig trees out here. I'll stop at the top of each one and try to get a view in either direction. So this is from the top of this side, and this is over here. You can see people keep their boats here and ramps. Hi! The oak pollen is starting to get to me. I've been trying to take my antihistamines, but I forgot today. I've got a little catch from all the oak pollen. So here, this gets confusing. Cutting Sage Road and Cuttin' Sage Lane. So you have to know where you're talking about. Let's just walk down here real quick. I wasn't going to walk down here. Rentals. It's the Alita, really, really cute house. If you get a chance to rent the Alita, super cute. The Alita was a mailboat that came to Ocracoke in the 40s. Hey. Some rentals down here. These are all up on canals as well. You'll see more trailers around, some empty spots where houses have had to come down after the storm, and we've got trailers to put there so people have a place to live. Looks like another house came down here too. Have some of y'all stayed back here? A lot of private homes back here too. So I'm not going to walk out the dock to the fish camps. I did if somebody asked me about the fish camps recently. I'm not going to walk out there, but I'll put them out there. These are just little camps where you can tie up a boat, privately owned. Tie up a boat, keep your fishing stuff out here, right in the marshes. And they got pretty damaged by the storm as well. I think I can peek this direction. I think this is a private drive, private parking area. There are two dead-end streets that go off of the road we were just on. I'm taking the shortcut in between. It's quite warm today. More of the houses out here are built up on stilts because it's a newer section, and it was more becoming more normal to build up on pilings instead of low to the ground like the old Ocracoke houses, the traditional Ocracoke houses were. And more landscaping. My granddad used to kind of complain about the landscaping. He said, they never did that when I was a kid. They just had what they had in the yard. It was basically sand and sand spurs and some wax myrtle, and that was about it. So if we hadn't taken that shortcut, we would have come around there, a sharp curve. There are just two lots on that section of the road. So this is the second bridge. And Deanna Locke has a lovely story about rushing up to catch the sunset over the bridges. I'd love to hear it again. She performed it once, quite a few years ago. There, you can often see seagulls or egrets, heron coming down, occasional pelican. And when I was a child, these bridges were scary to go over because they were one lane. The railing was as high as this bottom railing. And when you came up over the hill onto the bridge, you lost sight of the bridge, and you could just hope that you actually were on the bridge and didn't go overboard. So a lot of neat houses back here. Huge fig tree. It's probably one of the biggest fig trees on the island, I bet. Friend stays out, usually somewhere on the marsh on the Sound, and says that she loves watching the herons come in. It's just magical watching them glide in the evening and head back out in the morning, or fishing in the marsh grasses. She said that's one of her favorite parts about coming to Ocracoke. Cool little spiral staircase up there. Get a great view, I'm sure. Uh-oh, and we have looks like a special guest here. Everybody knows and loves Eduardo, right? Love your hat. I mean, Cinco de Mayo's tomorrow. He's getting ready for Cinco de Mayo. He might have a little treat tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo too. We'll have to see. I've heard rumor that something might be happening. Does everybody want to say hello to Eduardo as he comes back around? Hello from everybody.
Well, happy 4th of Mayo. Love you guys.
And come to Ocracoke and eat Eduardo's, right? Oh, guacamole. Bye, Eduardo. He always puts a smile on your face. So Harbor Cove, Kiting Sage, Esham Lane. Down there you've got, I think it's a private home, might be a rental down there. We'll walk this way. Ooh, new house. They tore a house down, a couple bought it, and they were going to do repairs and then realized there was more repairs than they wanted to get into, so they just tore it down and started new. And it looks beautiful. They were here not too long ago. Before the whole shutdown, right before the shutdown. And this is a lovely spot out here because you can watch the skies, the moon, sun. You get great sunsets and sunrises. You can see the fairies come in. Birds often roost back there. Back in that grove is where the other side of a place called Wickstrom's Cottage that somebody asked me about earlier. It's private, you can't get back there, but it's a very cool old house, built, I think it was built in the 70s, I'm not sure. Very, very pretty, but I'm not sure how much damage it sustained. Looks like a beautiful day. The dock, looks like the dock could use a little work down there. Beautiful, beautiful. And I just saw these comments stop scrolling. I thought people weren't commenting, but now I see lots and lots and lots of comments that I haven't contacted people about or addressed. So I will get back to that when I get home. But this will be the end of the video, and look for a surprise from, is that a rental to the right? Yes. I believe they're still renting it. It was a rental and then it got purchased, and then a new family bought it, and I'm not sure if they're still renting it. I think they are, but I'm not 100% sure. So there you go. Enjoy your day. I hope it's sunny and warm where you are, and we will do a tour maybe next video. Maybe we'll tour through the community cemetery, or maybe I think I've gotten all the requests so far, so we'll see where else we're gonna tour, or maybe it'll be a concert. We'll see. Maybe I'll go Springer's Point. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy your day.